I remember him sitting on the couch on the phone with his sister, his mother, his brother, and I would be getting like, are you kidding me? We have two little babies. You know that there's food that needs to be cooked. You know that there's things that need to be cleaned. Like, oh, like, look at me. I'm working so hard. Like, how are you not appreciative? How are you not even helping? How are you even allowing this? Don't worry, mommy. I'm gonna take care of you. Or like, it was just, they would see it, and like, that was the, one of the worst.
Whether you're exhausted like Michelle was from carrying everything and just want him to step up, or you're lonely and longing to feel close and adored again, listening to this podcast is going to make your marriage irresistible by doing less, not more. I'm Laura Doyle, creator of the 6 Intimacy Skills, and for 27 years, I've been watching women go from burnt out and disconnected to having the passionate, easy marriage they always wanted. Love is learnable, and the secrets are real, and this is where I teach them. I'm so glad you're here. Stay to the end for your Try It Tonight takeaway. Real women, real marriages. This is the Empowered Wife Podcast. Michelle, welcome to the Empowered Wife Podcast. I am so excited that you're here.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. I can't believe it. It's really a full circle moment. Thank you.
Wow. Well, yeah, you have quite a story. So let's start from the beginning, though. What made you choose your husband?
That's a great question. So I want to go back even a little further than that because, not looking at me now, you might not even think this, but I was actually really good looking when I was a teenager. I'm 5'11", green eyes. I had long blonde hair, very fit. And I don't want to, not to toot my own horn, but I had guys all the time asking for my number all over me. And that was kind of my relationship with guys, is I really thought like, I'm, just going to play hard to get. I'm going to get all these guys' phone number. They think I'm hot. And I didn't really think any other skills would need to get a guy or to keep a guy with you. Like, I just thought, look hot and they're going to like you and that's it. And also I come from a divorced family. So, I didn't have that father figure to say, hey, you're much more than just your looks. You've got talents. You can also expect more from people. Like, I just thought, like, that's really who I am in a way. And I was actually a very good girl. So I never did anything. So no one should get, no need to think anything crazy. But I didn't touch men until I was married. I'm religious. So I definitely kept, which was actually more attractive to a lot of the men. They were like, ooh, she's hot and she's modest and doesn't touch me. Like, to this day, even I have some people who email me like, are you maybe divorced? Like, I'd love to, see you or meet with you. No.
You're a heartbreaker. I love it.
But yeah, so I actually met my husband through a matchmaker. Crazy story. I don't know if we have time, but I'll try to make it quick. Thank you. I met my father when I was 18. So my parents got divorced when I was 2. I met him when I was 18. And I really met him because my brother, who's a year younger, wanted to meet him. And I just said, hey, I'm the older sister. Let me just make sure he's normal and not dangerous or in jail. Like, it turns out he's a really nice guy. He was remarried and we started a connection. He told his rabbi, my daughter is looking to get married. Do you know anyone? And literally, I think that same week, my husband's brother called up the rabbi and said, oh, I have a brother who's looking for a girl. And that's what it was based on. It was just that same week, 2 people asking the same rabbi about 2 single people. And obviously we were both religious and we both wanted families. So there was a little bit more than just a male, female, let's see if they can cook something up together. But it's so funny because when I first met him, the first time I sat with him, I knew I was going to marry him. And I've met a lot of guys and this wasn't a new thing, but even from the onset, like, I was definitely more of the doer, the taking charge. He was more quiet. On our first date, there was a pitcher of water. We were at someone's house in their living room and the hostess put out some water and cookies. And he was so shy and I guess scared that he didn't even offer me anything. So I was the one, would you like some water, some cookies? And but even with, him not being assertive and as alpha male as, I think I might have thought I would want, I still really connected with him. Like he was super nice, just listened to me, was very polite. And those are the things that really attracted to me about him. Like I liked that he was, kind and thoughtful and very, very religious, very, with his eyes, he wouldn't look at any other woman, which to me, with all this background, like I was just I loved that. I thought it was so pure and I was really attracted to him. And he looked good. I'm 5'11", so he's 6'2". He has blue eyes. And he's just like, I was taken. I was done. So we actually only went out 3 times. And this rabbi like just says, oh, like he calls me up the third date. All right, bride, are you ready? When are you guys getting married? Like he was not wasting time, and in our culture, this is I don't know, normal, but this is expected because we're not touching each other and he doesn't want us to get into a place where we're going to mess up or, do anything. And we were dating for marriage. We were very strict. We were very much goal oriented. So it wasn't just hanging out. And like I said, if I wasn't dating my husband, he wouldn't have looked at me in the street. Like this wouldn't have happened. So at this date, the fact that he's looking at me and, interacting with a female was meaningful and was supposed to go somewhere if we were both happy. So of course he said yes, he wanted to marry me. And he also, was head over heels over me. And we had a whole month until we got married. That was just, we hung out every single day and we never touched each other. We didn't do anything, but I mean, he took me out to eat. We just took walks. We really liked each other. We had a lot of fun. But looking back, like I still see that I should have taken advantage. I don't know if that's the right word, but I should have been more feminine. I should have been more vulnerable. There's this one story that I have, that really sticks out to me is, we went to Safed, which is in Israel. It's a city in Israel and a lot of hills and really beautiful place. And we were both obviously sleeping at separate quarters in different people's homes because we weren't yet married. And we ate a meal together at someone's house, and he asked, "Should I walk you home?" And I was just, just going to be independent and just like, "No, you don't have to. Like, it's okay." And I was dying for him to say, "No, of course, girl, I'm going to be with her. I'm going to take care of you. I'm not going to let my girl walk by herself." Like, that's what I was hoping. I was wishing. And I didn't have the skills or knowledge to say that. So I just said, like, "No, it's okay. Don't worry." And I remember the whole way there, I actually got so mad inside that I even took my ring and I threw it on the floor and I stamped on it. Like, I was just so mad that how could he let me just walk down that it was like this hilly road and just by myself, like and then when I told him this later on in life, he's like, "Why didn't you tell me? I would have loved to. Like, I was trying to be respectful to you. Like, I didn't think you wanted me to. So I didn't." Like, that's how such a good guy he is. And I just didn't see that. I saw it as a completely opposite thing. And I think in many times that's what happened in that month, but it wasn't big enough for me to say, "Oh, I'm not going to get married to him." It was just, something inside. And I actually I thought it was me. Like, okay, well then maybe, I don't know. I was just definitely, this was something I wanted to work on. And then, we got married and, that first month, um, was amazing. Like everyone always says the first year of marriage is so hard for them. I always said, like, I actually loved it. Like we had the best time. I was very, like I said, I was into the looks and I was always dressing up and pretty and he would come home and have my long blonde hair out and I'd like look all nice. And it was really, really fun for both of us. And, I did get pregnant that maybe like 2 months after the wedding, but I had a miscarriage. And this was really a very big deal for me looking back. Then I didn't know what I was experiencing, but now that I have the skills, I would have dealt with it very differently. But I remember that we had ordered a table for our apartment and he didn't want to bring it in for whatever reason. Maybe he was tired. He just didn't want to bring this table into the house. And I remember being like, okay, well then I'm going to do it. And I was pregnant, right? And I lifted up that table and I brought it in, and I just, and I didn't, I never even said this to him until later on in life after the skills. But I think after the miscarriage, I was always kicking myself and making myself feel so guilty for picking up that table, that I had caused the miscarriage. I was the one. And I know it wasn't. And, I'm sure there was other things that, happened to that baby that, we lost the heartbeat and whatnot. But that was really like in that moment where I could have been so together with him, where he could have like comforted me. And I didn't know how to get that out of him or have that relationship with him. I just thought, no, this table needs to be in here. I'm mad that he's not able to put this table in. I wish I had met you, the skills and met my coach earlier, but it wasn't like that. And that resentment definitely built up throughout the years, like that feeling of I'm doing and not being taken care of and not being able to also express what I'm feeling. Like I didn't know how to be vulnerable. I didn't even know that that's a thing. Like I thought I have to be strong. I have to, I have a house now. I have to make meals. I have to do. And part of my ideology was respect. Also, I thought respect was doing for him, was making for him, but I have so many just really vivid memories, really sad memories of me in Israel. At this time, we lived in Israel, and then I did get pregnant again. I had our baby, and I was very happy. I did gain a lot of weight with each pregnancy that I've had because of that trauma of the beginning. Because I thought if I pick up anything, if I exercise, forget it. Like I'm going to lose the baby. So I was always very cautious. I have 8 kids, so towards the end, probably by my 6th, 7th, and 8th, I was a lot more I understood how, and not, anatomy works and how babies can handle me running a little bit and moving around a little bit more. But definitely those first few pregnancies, I had gained 80 pounds with each pregnancy, which affected my looks. It affected my mood, my everything, but I had my baby. So we had a first baby, and then we had a second baby, and I have these memories of me just overcompensating, overdoing, and just working myself to the bone and not being able to express it and get help, or if anything, I didn't get help in the right way, and I just, pushed him away. But I didn't know that back then. But I remember I had to go back to school, and so I was in college because this was Israel, and they didn't accept my degrees from America. So I went back to school, and my baby was in one place for the morning, and then I had to move him to the second place, and in the second daycare. And this daycare is where my husband was working in the same area. But I didn't think to say, "Hey, babe, hey, honey, can you? I would love it if you could bring baby to daycare. That would just be such a help. Like, I'm in school. I'd love to just." But I remember during my 30-minute break, Laura, I would be running down the hill with an empty stroller, pick up that baby, bring him to that second thing, run back, come back sweating, tired, didn't get my lunch break, going back to class. And then when I had my second baby, I remember the daycare didn't even go until I think it was like 6:30. So I brought my babies to class. I didn't know to say, oh, honey, can you help me, bring them? Can you help me? I'd love some help. I'm exhausted. Nothing like that. It was just all this stuff just piling and piling and piling. And I had no idea that was over, burden. I didn't know how to take care of myself. I didn't know what was happening. I was just kind of on autopilot and thought that this is going to be my life. It's just going to suck. I'm never going to be happy. I'm never going to have a beautiful marriage. This is what it is. It's just hard work. I remember vividly sitting in my 3-year-old in my 3-year-old's room with my, I guess, 1.5-year-old in my arms, and rotten, just because every time I would leave the room, the 3-year-old would get out of his bed and would bother my husband, so to speak. I mean, I'm sure my husband would have loved to cuddle with him, but I was controlling. This baby needed to be in his bed, and so I sat there with this 1.5-year-old just singing to myself, staring into space. I was so bored. night after night. I mean, Laura, it was insane. It was just like, who does this to themselves, you know? And then I took on an extra job at night, and this was just continuous, continuous, continuous. And of course, he didn't help. He was just, oh my gosh, he would come home and say, "Oh, what did you do today?" That I know a lot of women, right? We all that really I would look at him and be like, "Are you joking me? Are you absolutely kidding me? What did I do today?" And he would get on me about the house and the cleaning, and I mean, and I retaliated. I did not know how to just stay quiet, be vulnerable. I didn't know how to say ouch. None of that. I would just be like, "Are you kidding me? What do you think you are?" Da, 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 da. I would tell him how bad he is. I would just don't talk to me like that. Are you crazy? You're not normal. Like, just really, verbally abusive in the same way that he was to me, right back at him. Didn't help in any of the situation at all. Um, I remember also the Sabbath Eve, right, which is a time where we don't end up, using electronics on the actual Sabbath. But Sabbath Eve is a very hectic time. You need to cook, you need to have enough food and everything like that. I remember him sitting on the couch on the phone with his sister, his mother, his brother, and I would be getting like, are you kidding me? We have two little babies. You know that there's food that needs to be cooked. You know that there's things that need to be cleaned. Like, oh, like, look at me. I'm working so hard. Like, how are you not appreciative? How are you not even helping? How are you even allowing this? And I remember very clearly saying, like, you don't have to. Like, why are you doing this? Like, just stop. Like, we'll clean at a different time. Like, but I was just, well, no, like I wanted a nice house. I wanted the house to be clean. I wanted it to be perfect for the Sabbath. I wanted there to be good, delicious food. Like looking back, now if I was there, I would do things completely different now that I know the skills. But anyways, so we moved to America, and that's where it got even worse. So we actually lived by my mom's house. Yeah, right. If it could get any worse, this is just grounds
It sounds
for
miserable. It sounds exhausting is what it sounds.
exhausting,
Yeah.
miserable, and just alone and really just not meaningful and very, very sad. Yeah. And anyway, so we moved to America and we lived by my mom's house. Okay. So yes, that is usually a recipe for disaster, right? Living by your in-laws, especially if it's your wife's in-laws. Okay. But listen, we didn't have money. My mother gave us the upstairs of her house. So yes, for him, looking back, it's such a uncomfortable feeling as a man being taken care of like this, not being able to afford a home for your kids, for your wife. He was probably feeling very low, but I didn't think any of that, and I didn't, acknowledge that at all. I just said, "Hey, my mom's so generous. Like she's giving us the whole upstairs. We don't have to pay rent. We don't have to pay water, gas, electric. It's all for free. Like, how are you even like unhappy for a second? Like, this is amazing." But obviously, I guess he was in his own, just feeling of not being a man and feeling sad and depressed. And he was just really out to lunch. He did not do, if he didn't do anything in Israel, this was nothing compared to what he didn't do in America. And now we already had probably 3 kids or 4 kids by now. And I was working full time and I would go to work, come back, and he was actually so depressed that he didn't end up going to work. He was just at home. And I remember coming home and seeing him, that's right, like that's the worst for a woman. Like seeing him on the couch and didn't lift a finger. The house was a mess. And I would look at him and say, I can't believe it. Like I'm literally, if I was pregnant, right? I was probably pregnant with my fourth or third, whatever it was. This was the same scene over and over again. Like I'm coming home, I'm exhausted. And some of it wasn't even like to blame. It was just like, I can't. Like I'm exhausted. I'm pregnant. I'm tired. The house is a mess. Like I'm going crazy. And I was just unhappy. I was very unhappy. I didn't do anything for myself. I remember I would just, call up tons of rabbis at this time and really say to them, like, this is not normal. Like I am fighting every single day with my husband. My mother would hear it downstairs. And it would really break her heart. It would break her heart to hear her pregnant daughter who's going out to work, coming back and just fighting with her husband. And the kids were hearing the screaming and the back and forth. And he was also really like, he took it to many levels. I mean, he would leave the house sometimes at night, not even come home. I wasn't worried about him, like I knew that he's not gonna, there's no, he's so innocent that he's not gonna do anything, but it's still very hurtful and very scary. Like looking back, like, okay, you know what? Like, fine, let him sleep in the car. But then I would be like, how are you leaving the house? How are you not even, sleeping here? The kids need you. Like, well, what kind of look does that look for the kids? Just anything he would do that wasn't right. I would be on his paper, like not let him even do the not nice things, uh, you know, that he would do. I would really call him out and really be very upset about it when he wouldn't answer my
Sure.
phone calls. Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
He wouldn't answer
yeah.
my phone calls. He would, you know, silent treatment. He was a silent treatment. He would days, and I mean days. And we had little kids, and this was my biggest thing. And I remember saying this to my coach later on, right? We're still in the thick of the story, but you know, like we have kids. Like you just can't just check out like, why aren't you doing it? Like you need to do this. Like you need to be here. This is important. I probably did State of the Unions for sure. Like, this is what needs to be done. This is how our day needs to look. Like this is oh my gosh, Laura. Now that I'm saying it out, I'm thinking all the Sundays of me planning Sunday trips and even just, when we had vacation, Memorial Day, winter vacation, spring break, like I would plan the trips. And these are little kids. We had little kids then. This was my dream. Like I wanted to go on trips with my kids and experience nature and things together. And I even remember, we went on a trip to the Amish and I had booked a, farm thing and a this, and it was scheduled. And I remember he just was like, "Oh no, I want to find like this raw milk or whatever it was that he wanted." And I remember saying to him like, "But no, I pre-booked this. Like we have to be here." And he didn't listen to me. He just went, he took the car. He was the one who was driving and took it to wherever he wanted to go. And I lost it. And this is a trip, right? So this is supposed to be, the Von Trapp family singing together, la la la, we're enjoying ourselves. And here mom is losing it. Like I lost it. I was, what are you doing? Like we're supposed to go to the farm. That joke where they say like, you kids better have fun. We're having fun. Everyone smile. Like that was me. That was what happened to me. And I'm not like that. Like my heart was all for my kids. My heart was all to have a good time. It wasn't easy for me to go and plan and take my money and do all this, but I did it because I love my kids, but no one was able to see any of that because it was just masked by this overtired, overstressed, overstimulated, really just, very, very sad and unhappy woman. And yeah, and I think it came to the real breaking point. And I don't know why this is just what I call the breaking point, but so we're at my mom's house and I have to go to work. I am pregnant with my fourth, and his work at that time was in the same building where I worked. Okay, so I worked upstairs, he worked downstairs. I worked at the daycare, he worked in the synagogue downstairs. Same place. And the daycare was the same daycare. And I guess we had fought the night before and he probably felt disrespected, everything. I mean, this was pre-skill. So this is just, fighting every single day. So he didn't take me to work. He did not take me to work. I didn't know how to drive then. He didn't take the kids and he just left. And I remember I just broke down. My mom came running up. She's like, "Why are you?" I was crying and crying. My mom comes running up. What happened? Like he didn't take me to work. I'm here. I don't know how to get to work, and I'm a very responsible person. So I like to get places on time. I like to, I care what people think. Like I don't want people like, and I was just beside myself. Like this is just not normal. And the reason I call this my breaking point, which trust me, I've had so many. I feel like of them. So but the reason I feel like it's so big is because my grandfather, I remember he called up his mom and he said to him, and he told her, his mother, he said, I'm paying for a ticket for your son to go home. Take him back to Israel. Take him back with you. Just take him. Go. He cannot be living in my daughter's house and with my granddaughter. This is not okay. And his mother was really shocked. She was really taken aback. And, this was just kind of like big figures in our lives were starting to get involved. And yeah, so I
Wow.
just, Yeah.
He was calling your marriage over, basically. Your grandfather was. He's saying, like,
Yeah.
they should
Yeah.
be separated by countries.
Hmm.
Like, wow.
No one else saw, my mother kept throughout this time, by the way, she's saying to me, you deserve better. Like, I still looked good. I actually bounced back after each pregnancy. I did look good. And, she's like, you're young. I'm 34 now. Like, then I was probably 28. She's like, you're young. You can get married again. Marry someone who's going to love you, who's going to take care of you, who's going to be there for you. Like, this is just a loser pants. Like, he doesn't do anything. He's just, she had this vision in her head that he's just, you know, like a leech. She's just,
Yeah.
leeching
Yeah.
off of me. And, um, yeah. And and all the rabbis I spoke with as well, I actually had a big rabbi, and this was actually, so I spoke to rabbis throughout this time at my mom's house, and they just would really listen to me, just complain about my husband. Like, obviously not helpful.
He didn't take the ticket back home from your grandfather.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Okay. Grandfather said it, but that didn't happen.
And that was really, I want to say that was really because of me. I actually was like, it's okay, we're gonna work it out. I always had this belief inside of me that I wasn't gonna get divorced. I come from a divorced family. I think that's definitely part of it. But I definitely didn't want to get divorced, and I was holding it together. I was gonna be
Wow.
that strong one. And I'm happy I did. I really am, because he's such a wonderful
Yeah.
man. He's incredible. He really is.
Michelle.
And
Wow. Wow. So
yeah.
at this time, though, there's no evidence of this, that he's a wonderful man. At this time,
Oh, no.
mom and your grandfather are saying, like, get rid of this guy. No, we're gonna make it.
Yeah, and it's really me saying I'm gonna make it. He was not at all, you know, really checked in. He was really just like, he was there for the kids. He loved the kids. I think that was his thing, is there were the kids. He really loved them. He's a great father. He really is. He loves them. I never obviously saw it, because I was, well, we need to have them in bed. We need to, do this. And when he didn't want to, it, made it, I wasn't able to look at the good. I wasn't able to see, oh, wait, he wants to just cuddle with them. Oh, hey, you know what? He wants to do things a little differently. He wants to parent a little differently. I wasn't open to that. I was not flexible or even happy with myself enough and confident enough and self-cared enough to be able to let that even happen. I just really thought that I need to rule this. I need to make sure that this is all, going to going to run in a certain way so that the kids get everything that they need. And,
You're the mother, so
I know
you know.
best. Yeah.
Yeah. So while you, like, and your family is saying, he should leave, but you were not saying you should leave. And did he ever say, like, I'm out of here, or I'm gonna leave?
Yeah, so he was always throwing around the D word. Always. I mean, it was rough. I mean, it was really, really rough.
Wow.
And
Okay, so then finally you do find the intimacy skills.
at some point, right. So it's funny, because my mom was the one who gave me the surrendered wife many years ago. Okay. So out of
Okay.
everyone, the one lady who's like, I don't need a man in my life. Like, I am strong, and I am, that was the kind of woman I grew up with. She's giving me the surrendered wife. Go figure. But I read
Go
this,
figure.
right? But I read The Surrendered Wife, and I remember thinking, yeah, this is me, overwhelmed. I feel like I'm the one having to do everything, not being taken care of. Check, 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 check. But like, I didn't know how to implement it, for sure. Like, I was just kind of like, okay, great book. Don't know what to do with this at all.
Right.
And yeah, so I, 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 I believe in God, so I think God really orchestrated that this should happen. I was with my friend Jamie, and Jamie's a certified lawyer Doyle coach, and I never knew she was. I had no clue. I was just friends with her. We never talked about it. Just, I don't know, it never came up. And about 5 years ago, we were driving somewhere to an event, and I'm just telling her, I don't even know how we got to the topic, but I say, oh, Laura Doyle. And she's like, oh, she has a podcast, and I'm a Laura Doyle coach. And I look at her and I said, what? Like, hello, this is amazing. And at this point, I'm, I want to, I feel like I'm at the end. Like, I am so tired. I probably had 6 kids by now, maybe 5 on the way to 6. This was the hardest time. And I think every mom might say differently, but for me, from 5 kids to 6 kids was when I was like, this is too much. Like, this is like, it's not even, like I always tell my husband, it's not like I don't want to do everything, like to do it or to put the kids to sleep, but it's physically impossible. Like, there's just too many kids and people. And I have 7 boys, by the way, 7 boys. And I just had my girl. So they're all boys. So I don't know,
Oh,
boy moms out there, I think you'll feel me on this. Like, feel, understand what I'm saying, but it is a chaotic house. And I'm
I bet.
5'11", my husband's 6'4", 6'2", I'm sorry. So these boys are big. They are,
Big kids.
oh, it's crazy. But I have my little
Wow.
girl.
That
Um,
6 wouldn't pick you over the edge. You're like, I'm doing okay at 5. 6 is just like, yeah, this is crazy.
yes, and I wasn't getting help. Like, I just remember, even just crazy things he would do and this is already, we're not in my mom's house. There's really no excuse. Like, that was my thing. Like, you have no excuse. We're not in my mom's house. We have our own home. You can do whatever you want to do. Just do it, And he was just really depressed. And I just remember he would even sometimes take away my phone. This was a big one because I wasn't cleaning the house or I wasn't doing what he wanted to. And he would take away my phone. Yeah. And he wouldn't give it
Wow.
back to me. But even just that, I'm a 30-what-year-old woman. You don't just, like, that's disrespectful. Like, that's just
Yeah.
so scary. It was so
Oh,
scary for
yeah.
me, you know?
Scary. Yes. Terrifying. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And he wouldn't give it back to me. And I remember like having to yank it out of his hand, like really strong, like, and, yeah, it wasn't pretty. It was not pretty here, Laura. It really, really wasn't. And I was like really done. I was like getting to a place where I was considering divorce. Like, I never said it, but I was like, I might die. Like, Laura, I'm like, I don't know how this is all coming off, if it's serious or not, but this was really bad. Like,
Oh,
every
yeah.
day
Oh,
continuing
yeah.
fighting. I'm working. I'm trying to do my all. I'm worried about the kids. The kids are hearing us scream and seeing mommy cry. That would always break my heart. Like, my kids would come to me and say, like, dad isn't nice to you, right? Like, don't worry, mommy. I'm gonna take care of you. Or like, it was just
Oh.
they would see it, and like that was the one of the worst things, right? And so when Jamie says to me, "Oh, there's a podcast," I'm like, "Okay, let me do this. Let me go to this podcast." So I listened to one, and I listened to everything. Laura, I was binging, just like I hear many women say. I was amazed. I was shocked at how these women changed their lives, and really created beautiful homes and just got through this tough these tough situations, and he gave me a lot of hope. I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm not alone. Like, a lot of the podcasts, I'm like, that's me. Like, oh my gosh, like, we have the same man. Like, this is it. How are you gonna? I would be like, how's she gonna get through this? Like, come on, what are you gonna do? Like, this is you can't figure this out. Come on, no, this is not gonna happen. And no, she would, and it would sound so like empowered and happy. And so I would reach out to Jamie. Really, I didn't think it was gonna work. But then she said, let me give you some coaching. So she really broke down the skills for me, and she really taught me, like, very clearly, the intimacy skills, and just coach me through them. I mean, my biggest one was self-care. I would fight her on that. I would say to her, "Jamie, you don't understand. I have 7 children. I have
I
no
thought,
money. I
yeah.
can't," you know? And she would say, "I hear you," she would empathize and she would understand me. And this is one thing I love about Jamie, is that she has her own story. She has her own, marriage that she worked on, and she's been through it. So she really gets me. Like, she's like, I know, my husband did this and this and this last week. But this is what worked for me. Let's see if this could work for you. And she really worked with me on, what can be your self-care. And I don't even, this is going back 4 years. So I'm already so past this that it's hard for me to kind of think how all the skills have just, now they're just part and parcel of me. Like, they are who I am. I am just this happy Michelle who goes to the gym every day, who eats healthy, who goes to work, who's on her paper, who has energy for her kids. It's great to have a friend, who's on your team. And I really can't underestimate that, by the way. It's a game changer having Jamie there by my side throughout my, idiosyncrasies or my situations that happen, and for her to be able to, through the skills, just help me through them. I was actually looking through SMSs with Jamie, and I mean, there've been a lot, even just these past few weeks, like things still come up, but it's I'm empowered. I know how to stand my paper. I know how to deal with the situation. I'm not just, making things worse. I'm not just, you know, making myself be the bad one, or not be as respectful as I want to. I am able to handle things, and my kids see it too. I mean, it's just my life is completely different. And yeah, I mean, going from the haggard, overworked, like, oh, just underappreciated,
Yeah.
unhappy woman to going to this, like, even my husband, he's like, he doesn't know about the skills, by the way. He no clue. And he is just enamored, and he's starting to mirror what I'm doing. He really is. Um, he's starting to take care of himself a little bit more, realizing like, hey, maybe I need some time to just, you know, go, go out, take a walk, go for a run, listen to some music. Like he's starting to do those kind of things, but even more about the house. That was a major thing, right? The cleanliness of the house was a fight we always fought about. And now I'm just so happy and so skilled that I'm able to say like, hey, I'd love I'd love a clean kitchen, or I'd love some help. And I'm not expecting help. If he wants to help me, great. If not, not. We're just gonna live in a pigsty if he doesn't want, if he doesn't want to help. Like I'm gonna honor myself. Like I was even right now this summer, so my four younger kids, so three boys, one baby, they're actually at daycare, but my four older ones are home for the summer. And back in the olden days, I would have pressured him, we gotta take them places, we gotta do. I would have just tired myself out and just been unhappy all throughout, and it wouldn't have ended up working out organically and naturally. And obviously, when you're forcing someone, controlling someone to do something, it's not a fun trip for that person. So it kind of radiates to the whole situation. And but now I'm just like, hey, mom's happy. I told my boys, we have the backyard. Mom's gonna put up a slip and slide for you. You're welcome to ask Abba, which is father in our language. You're able to ask dad for help, if you want to go somewhere or whatever. And he is. He took them. He took two kids today to their friend's house. Um, last week he took one of them to the park. Like he's just stepping up. He is just like, "Oh my gosh, where have you been?" Like, I didn't know this was possible. Like, he is really, cleaning up, putting things away, you know, um, doing laundry, just being such a nice person to the house, to just I feel like I have a partner again. I feel like there's someone who's here to help and, you know, be good with the kids. And I'm also like, he went down to Lakewood, which is where we like to do we're a big family, right? 10 people. So we like to buy in bulk. And he went and he bought, a lot of things. And I was just like, he's buying things for us. He's, thinking about me in different ways. Like Jamie lives in my community. So um, she just always says to me, she's like, your husband is so, what did she say recently? She said, he's so protective about you. And I was just, oh, you're right. He is. Cause whenever we go out and he bumps into our friend, he knows I love when friends come over. So he always tells that friend, like, why don't you go and visit Michelle? She'll love to see you. He's looking out for me. He's just, I can't explain it. Like, my life is completely different. And it doesn't mean there aren't hard times, because, oh
Sure.
boy, are there. We still have hard times, but I am just like, I know that I'm going to get through it. I know that I have skills. I have what to do. I know how to deal with it. Um, it's just, it's amazing. It's really, yeah, yeah.
Michelle, it is amazing. And I think one of the things that I've got to ask you about this, because I feel like listeners are wondering. So you have 8 kids. Jamie's like asking you about your self-care, and you're saying like, I can't, but then you did somehow. Like, how did you do it? Like, how did you, how?
It started off small. I feel like it just started off small. Like she would just say, like, make yourself a hot tea, or make yourself, what makes you happy. And at first, obviously, I didn't know what made me happy. I was just like, I don't know. I want my house to be clean. I want this, like, just like him to do things. Like I don't really know. Like Michelle's not really in this picture right now, you know? But with her help, like she just was able to say no, even little things like just take a shower, like, you know, and through situations, you know, for example, a big deal is for us sleeping time, right? With 7 boys, 1 baby, like my boys do not go to sleep. They really don't. They all have also ADHD. Like they're very active. It is insane. And also we have a small house, so we actually have 3 bedrooms. So we have 5 kids in one room, 3 in another. So it is 2 in another, I'm sorry. So it is party time for them. It is really hard to they just mess around. And so back in the olden days, and you know, I used to get really upset about it and obviously scream at my husband, like, how can you let this happen? Like, just step in, like, do this, do that, do that. And now I'm like, all right, you know what? Like, honey, like, I'm just going to take a shower. And I am. And so that's self care right there. You know, the fact that she was able to point that out, like taking that shower is self care. You know, even sitting with my earbud and just kind of washing, like, that's listening to something that makes me happy. And it just started like that. I mean, now I am self-care guru, I feel. I go to the gym every day. I got a massage yesterday. I, my brother, he asked me, it was my birthday. So he asked me, because he knows from so many birthdays, I don't like flowers. They just die on me. Like, I rather get the money, you know, I'm one of those. So, but I never would have, back in the olden days, even thought to think like, oh, hey, well, what does Michelle want? And secondly, I wouldn't have even, uh, you know, bought what I did buy. So I ended up getting myself a brand new watch. I got myself new headphones, and I've got like I think 250 left for him to just spend on me. And yeah, this is my brother, right? Not my husband, but it's still just this atmosphere of Michelle's important. She's, you know, yeah. So, yeah, and it is hard. Like, sometimes, especially when I'm working, it definitely is harder to quote unquote do the bigger self-cares. But when you have this mindset of just, I'm important and I want to do something frivolous and fun for myself, then you'll do it. Like and even if the kids are all running around amok, like, you know, it- you just sit on the couch and just put up your feet. And you know what? If your husband's going to come home and say, hey, why are your feet up? Because my husband has stopped doing that, now because I do the skills and I respect and just, and do all he has a much happier wife. So he's just happier seeing me like that. But back in the olden days, he definitely would have said that, like, that's why I always thought, nah, my husband doesn't really want to give to me. He's not happy to see me chill. Whenever I put my feet up, he's like, what are you doing? But that was, now looking back, I understand that he was disrespected. He was, you know, um, just he didn't think he could make me happy, and that was his way of dealing with all the hurt that he felt and all the disrespect that he was getting. But now, though, I will put up my feet. I'm just okay. Let the dishes stay. Let you know whatever it is, what it is. Like, I'm gonna take care of myself, and things get done. Like when I go to the gym, I sometimes think I'm actually gonna be more tired, but I'm not. Like, I actually have more energy. The more I give to myself, the more I have time. Like last night, like I went down, I washed dishes, and then in the night, and he actually, because things have changed in this house. So I'm this is a completely different household than it was pre-skills. But he was in the bedroom with the boys, just putting them to sleep, which is amazing. And I was able to say be grateful for that. Back in olden days, I probably would have chalked it up as, this is your job. Like, like, just do it. Like, come on. You don't need a big whole fanfare, but I'm able to be grateful and I get it back too. Like nowadays I get it back myself. Like he says thank you to me for what I'm doing, for how much I'm dedicated to the kids, for how much I'm trying with the house. And he just notices it because I'm noticing him. He's definitely mirroring me. But last night, I mean, I had energy to wash dishes, and I was watching a movie as I was doing it. But like, it's just that self-care piece is huge, is huge. It was that number one. I think you sometimes ask, like, what is that, the first or the skill you used, or, the skill that really changed your life the most? I would say self-care for sure, because that was something I thought I didn't deserve. I thought felt very guilty doing it. Like, how can I do this when there's like children who need knapsacks that are or lunches ready for tomorrow? Like, It will get done, like, it will, and you know what? If it's not gonna get done perfectly, at least you are in a much healthier place, and you are able to, um, you know, to take care of it. Maybe then and, so on Monday, they didn't have the greatest lunches, Tuesday, they'll have better lunches because you were calmer, and you know what? The kids want a happier and a calmer house. They don't need, you know, perfectly, cut up fruits and things for lunch, so
Yeah. So tell me about that. So you guys used to fight every day. What about now? How often do you have these fights?
never. I know I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but, like, never, because it's just if there is a fight, it's just one way. It's not I don't engage. Like, I am dancing a different dance. I am on my own paper. If he says something disrespectful to me, and it happens, it really does, like and actually he doesn't like "ouch," so what I say is I say that, I say it in a different language also, by the way. He speaks a different language. We have, by
Sure.
the way, so much going against us. I mean, we're just 2 different cultures. He's, Israeli, I'm American, like, we have so much that could have really been, "Okay, this is not good." Of course you're not getting along. You can't get along. There's too many differences.
There's plenty of evidence that you shouldn't be able to make your marriage work, it sounds like,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
focus on other evidence.
Right. So what I said was instead of "ouch," I actually say, I'm insulted, which just works for us. Like it still stays on my paper that I'm insulted. Like, and I say it in a very, like I'm not blaming you for insulting me. Like like I have no control over you. I just have control over how I feel, and I right now feel insulted, and it really messes with him. Like he doesn't like that. He knows. He comes back. He does do nice things afterwards. Like I'll see he's a little softer. He's like, okay, would you like me to take out the kids? Or, like all of a sudden, he'll be like, all right, do you want to go take a nap? That's how things run around this house now. So there's no fighting. Like I don't I don't fight. I mean, I have some days where I'm maybe low on self-care but it's, and I'll just be like, I can't do this. Like I'm done. Like, no, like to him, not about the skills, to him, like this is making me crazy, and I'll just kind of like I'll engage a little bit, but it stops. I mean, because I apologize right after. I say, "I'm so sorry for being disrespectful when I raised my voice. I'm so sorry for being disrespectful when I called you this. I'm sorry for being disrespectful for telling you to to to, do this and this with the kids. I know you're a great dad. You're gonna do whatever you think whatever you think is best for them. You're fantastic." And it just I mean, Laura, when I do Laura Doyle apology. My husband looks at me and is like, I feel like he's gonna be like, all right, let's go up to the bedroom. Like that's it. Like that for him is like, oh my God. He is
The
just,
best aphrodisiac, right, on the
oh
planet.
my gosh. That is just it's incredible. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I mean we
So
have 8 kids, I have a business, I have all this stuff that's going around and
you're happy. Oh,
yes.
and the passion is high. The passion is high there, it sounds like.
Oh, it is. It is. It's yeah, yeah. I mean, I love him, he loves me, and I know that even though we have a lot of situations that come up, and I would tell Jamie, like, if I didn't have the Lord Doyle skills, this would have completely ruined my week. This would have completely blown out of control. Like this, but no, I apologize, and then we're right back to it. Like we're right back to our beautiful life. And yeah,
Do you ever feel like you have just, like, lost your own voice in this? Like, you're apologizing to him, he's not apologizing back, like, do you ever feel like you're just kinda having to, I don't know, like, suck it all in and not be yourself?
not at all. Not at all. I hear why you would ask that, but no, because it's I'm not apologizing because I have to or sometimes I will grit my teeth and say, "You know what? This is for the sake of the kids, for the sake of my marriage." And it's like you say, it's but eating putting sandpaper, like it's kind of like, ugh. But I'm being good to myself. At the end of the day, I want Michelle to be someone who's people say about her that she was respectful person, a happy person, you know, I want to clean up my side of the street. If God forbid, I know we're never going to get divorced, but I'm saying if God forbid there would be any kind of separation or any kind of fight, I don't want it to be because of me. I want to, I'm clean. I am, and it's all the skills together that bring that and allow that to happen so that I'm just really dignified in all my relationships, even with my kids, my coworkers. I'm much more empathetic, able to hear people and just, let people express their own views about things and not have to interrupt them, not have to, you know, put my own ideas into their heads. I'm just, the skills, like I hear you, you know, um, just, duct taping. And these are phenomenal life skills of how to be a good person, how to be a empowered wife, empowered person. Um,
Yeah, Michelle,
yeah,
I hear a lot of self-control and also, confidence. You sound like you're very confident. Like, you know that you're important and you also trust yourself to show up in the way you wanna show up, happy, dignified. So, how do you think this has impacted your kids that you've done all this, that you have these superpowers now?
my beautiful babies. Oh, my loves. I live for my kids. Like I even tell the principals and teachers, like the first day of school, I say, "This is my life right here. Like anything you need, if my kids, anything's happening, just come to me. I will do anything for them." So for me, this is I just can't believe that they're gonna have parents who are not divorced. Like number one, let's start just with that, right? Like they have a mother who knows how to respect her husband, knows how to show up, is teaching them so many amazing skills that like they would never get this otherwise. They would just like they're coming so empowered, so they're seeing such empowerment, seeing such grace, such dignity. They really see like mom is just calm. She's just, when I even ask them for things or, when I deal with them, they see that like there's a composed woman asking, there's, a respectful woman asking. And it's just, I mean, it's so different. It is just I think they have their mother back. They have a happy woman who knows what she likes. These kids are getting an amazing life. Like a mom who has energy for them, a mom who doesn't scream as much, who doesn't put down their father. That's a big one, and that's all to the skills. Like, you know, I thought
I
it's
just
good to put down your husband. Not good, but like that's the way to do it. Like, how else is he gonna show up or be a good person or
how would he
be a
ever improve,
functional?
right? If you don't tell him what he's doing wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it really is very moving to hear. First of all, let's start with their parents are divorced and they're not going to get divorced. And you didn't have that, right? You didn't have that. So you're giving them something that you didn't get. And I think I know it took a lot of courage to do all this. It took a lot of also determination to do what you've done, Michelle. So, and I guess I would love to hear like, what's your tip for someone who is where you were, where she just thinks her husband's just a loser and her family is saying you should divorce him. And she's exhausted and she's overwhelmed and she just can't see. It's not going to work on him, right? My husband's got problems, right? And she wants what you have now, where, that you're like, you're able you love each other. You love each other and you're able to be peaceful and calm and model this like a happy home for your boys and yeah, you're able to take care of yourself. You have all these kids, you have all these boys, and yet there still is this underlying calm in your house and happiness. What's your tip? What should she do?
I would say start with the book. Definitely read the book and then go and then do the podcasts. The podcasts were a big game changer. But for me personally, it wasn't enough. I really needed a coach. I really needed someone because my life was like I didn't go into this so much, but I opened up a school. I'm Montessori certified. So I had like so much life I couldn't just on my own sit there with the book and the podcast and kind of sift out and kind of really focus on it. I needed a coach to hear me out for those. Like I was so busy that I even sometimes would say to my husband, like, I don't have time to fight with you and I don't have time to to deal with this. Like I wouldn't even remember really like what would happen a week before because my life was just on
So
so fast.
fast.
Like I was just like, all right, so having Jamie, coach, essentially there for me for the moments and the fresh off the press. Like, how do I deal with this? Michelle's going out of her mind. She's feeling sad. She's okay. Let's be vulnerable. Let's take out. Let's maybe think of duct tape. Let's just do all these skills, and then I'm able to implement them. And that I would say is just is the way to go. I mean, listen, also from the podcasts, you could definitely learn from them. I mean, that's huge. And I know people who do, just listen to the podcast and they are able to, implement the skills. And but for me, I would say that getting a coach, just this is not a to get coaches, everyone. But if you're asking me personally, I think that the coach was the game changer for me, having her on my side for my marriage, because other people, I would talk to other people and they weren't Laura Doyle. So what did they say to me? Get divorced. Get out of this. This is not normal. He's making you crazy. He's gaslighting you. He's this, he's that. And I had things to complain about that were really huge. Like, and I know for everyone, if everyone feels like that, like, but serious things, like, just, I don't even remember off the top of my head, but like things with the kids of like this, we didn't have AC. We didn't have AC this at the beginning of the summer. And that was a big stress on me, and back in the olden days, I would have like taken control. I would have felt like I had to call and make all the appointments. But now it's like, I've got Jamie. So I told Jamie like how I was feeling, and she worked with me on, okay, I'm vulnerable. So I went to my husband. I'm like, I am so worried that the AC is not going to work in the thick of the summer when it's really important. And I just kind of left it to him. And you know what? He fixed it. He got someone, he fixed it, he dealt with it. I am no more carrying all these bags, all these responsibilities. I have a partner. And having a coach just really, really helps. It's just,
Yeah,
yeah.
amazing. Big shout out to Coach Jamie. I love Jamie too. So, how awesome. And I also just kind of heard her like seeing the best in your husband too, like seeing how he protects you. Like she knows your husband, right? So, what a cool aspect that she could bring. Um, those, yeah, that point of view, those perspectives. Like your husband's a good guy. So, yeah, so I love that. What do you think you would say if you could go back in time and talk to Michelle and tell her what you know now when she was really hurting?
Wow. I would probably say something like, there's a different way to deal with this. Like, you don't worry. Like, you're actually gonna have a beautiful life, and your husband is actually normal and and good and loves you and loves the kids, and you have so much good in your life, and you need to work on it. You need to work on yourself and use skills, and there's a different way to deal with these things that will actually result in success and in happiness and in a beautiful marriage. And yeah, I guess that's what I would say. Yeah.
Well, amazing. I am so impressed with the transformation that you've had and how respectful you've become and calm and dignified and confident. And what a beautiful family life that you've created for your boys. And I just want to give you my best wife award. Congratulations, Michelle. You did it. You earned it. You are richly deserving of this because you've done something so important and kind of rare, right? The many people told you just get divorced and you didn't listen. And you, in fact, doubled down on the changes you could make for yourself. And that's made a huge difference. So congratulations.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much for all you did and your podcasts and just all the work you've done. It's life changing, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you.
Well, thank you. This has been so inspiring to get to hear your whole story. And you've been so vulnerable in sharing it with us. And I just can't thank you enough.
Well, thank you, Laura. Really, my life is amazing, and it couldn't have been done without you, without the skills, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you.
You've been with me here every week learning the secrets that happy wives know, so I want to invite you to come practice them in person with me at the Adored Wife Weekend. It's 3 days in Anaheim, California with me, our coaches, and a whole room full of women just like you. We're going to laugh until it hurts. We're going to dance to the 80s, and we're going to put these skills to work live. Your marriage is going to feel it. October 9th through the 11th, and register right now at adoredwifeweekend.com and come practice with us. I'll save you a seat. All right, your try it tonight takeaway is self-care. I have to tell you, I was so delighted listening to Michelle describe her self-care routine. She has 8 kids. 8. And somehow she's found time to go to the gym every day, get massages, put her feet up, and sit and eat delicious, nourishing meals. I just loved hearing that. But it didn't start there. When Michelle first started practicing the intimacy skills, her coach encouraged her to begin with something really simple, a shower. It sounds almost too ordinary to matter, but Michelle kept saying yes to those little moments of caring for herself. One shower, one workout, one quiet moment with her feet up. And little by little, those tiny choices added up. And did you hear what happened? Today, she calls herself Happy Michelle. What a transformation. So here's your experiment. What's one small thing you could do today just because it would make you happy? Maybe it's taking a shower before you tackle the dishes. Maybe it's putting your feet up for 5 minutes. Just one small act of self-care just for you. Are you ready? You're going to try this? You're going to do this experiment with me today? Yeah? Okay, then go, go, go.